So it all began in 2004 when I was diagnosed with birdshot chorioretinopathy. We changed the name to uveitis because it's easier. I was in shock, I felt alone, I didn't know what was happening to me, and the consultant who diagnosed me told me that the treatment was worse than the condition. So, as everybody else, it's true, and as everybody knows, off I went to Google. Well, there was very little information online, but what information I could find said I was going to go blind. So obviously I wasn't really very happy about that. Anyway, fast forward to 2008, and I went to a conference in Boston, the United States of America, where Stephen Foster was organising a birdshot symposium. It was for doctors and for patients. And by great good fortune, I happened to meet someone called Rare Mattox, and we decided that we needed to do something when we got back to England to improve the situation here. So when we got back, we built a website, we designed a simple leaflet and a poster, and we wrote to all the uveitis consultants that we could find in the UK, asking them, how many birdshot patients do you treat? Because nobody knew this, nobody knew how rare a condition it was. And we got a very good response to our survey, and then we followed it up by sending them a leaflets and a poster, and so the Birdshot Uveitis Society was formed. We had a lucky hookup. That was with Narcissa Kravi. She contacted us after we'd written to her and said she was interested in working with us. And we had various conversations, and out of these various conversations, the idea of the Birdshot Day developed. This was a great success. Patients and professionals all benefited from coming to the Birdshot Day. And at that stage, we also met Karen Bonstein, who has become something of a guardian angel for our society. Quite early on in our journey, we were told by Professor Sir Peng Kaur that we really needed to become a charity. I think he was thinking of a medical charity, but obviously that's not that simple. And we just thought it was not really feasible. But by 2011, we joined forces with 3 other birdshotters, and they had the expertise to help us set up as a charity. And our objectives are to provide education, support, and information. We tried to get research as one of the objectives, but the Charity Commission weren't having any of that. They said, so we kind of get round that by saying we aim to encourage research. The next really important relationship for us was with Fight for Sight. Julian Jackson approached me in 2012 and asked if we'd like to partner Fight for Sight in their Carrots Walk. He said if we raised £7,500 in sponsorship, they could match this amount, and then we could fund a small grant for birdshot research. We jumped at this idea because, 1, we didn't have to do anything about organising the event, and 2, it was something our members could participate in, and they wanted to do something, and it was achievable. Since then, we've helped to fund 10 small joint grants with Fight for Sight. 2 of these are providing the foundation for future birdshot research, a database and a biobank. Because birdshot is rare, there was no capacity to research the disease, but our online registration and the formation of this database is going to make a resource that researchers can use into the future. Since then, we've organised 2 further Birdshot Days, many local meetings, mainly in London, and next year we're branching out to the northwest and having a meeting in Manchester. And when I'm in Baltimore in May 2017, I'm having a get-together with, just an informal get-together with birdshotters who live in that area. So, how do we fund this organisation? This is crucial because, as Professor Sir Peng said, and pressed home really hard to us, we needed to have some money. So we've got a really simple answer to that question. One of our trustees happens to like shooting, and every year we hold a charity clay pigeon shoot, and he invites the construction industry to come along. And we have to do nothing. He delegates the job to a member of his staff, and this shoot brings in about £50,000. We've also approached pharmaceutical companies for money, and we've got a bit for Birdshot Days, and this year we've been promised £10,000 core funding, no strings attached, from a large pharma. This stream of funding means that we've been able to pay for a specialist birdshot research nurse in Birmingham who's been involved in the trialling and testing of the database and the bioresource facility, and we're now working at rolling it out during the course of the next year. Then the formation of a national birdshot research network. None of this would have been possible without the close team of consultants that we work with. We meet twice a year. These dedicated people help us to make our dream come true. Now, what are the benefits of the society? For me, the most important benefit to me is that when you're diagnosed, you no longer need to feel so alone. We have a birdshot community across the whole world. If someone from Brazil contacts me, I can put them in touch with other people in Brazil, and they can hook up locally and have a chat with somebody who's going through that experience in that country. And we've had local coffees and meals and things going on in areas from New Zealand, South Africa, Newcastle, you name it. They're going on, just very small scale, but it does actually help people not to feel so alone. We've got research moving. Many more people know about birdshot than they did in 2004. We've now got information about the condition on various websites, including Moorfields Eye Hospital, Fight for Sight and RNIB. When I was diagnosed, there was nothing. We've a very active support group and page on Facebook, and it's easy for people to join, and it's easy for people to get support via this very wonderful group of people. We're also working with researchers in very many ways, supporting their applications and providing the patient voice. We're involved in the NICE multiple technology appraisal for adalimumab and Ozurdex. We're providing the patient voice at conferences like the ARVA one I mentioned earlier, and also a workshop in Birmingham. That's in 2017. We're sponsoring a session on birdshot at the Inflammation Congress in 2017 as well. So all of this makes me feel immensely proud and grateful to the people we work with. It just goes to show that little people can achieve. But it's very much a partnership between clinicians, scientists, researchers, charities, and people with birdshot. We all play a part in this journey together.